Right, and we are hot. Welcome everybody to the Smashby podcast. Today's guest is my friend Jay, or what do you like to? I always refer to you as Jay, but you might not want to be called that.
It's cool. It's Jay or Jose, either one.
Okay. Today's guest is Jay, and for those of you that have done Sean's Week, he's actually in the background of Sean's Week working out. And he's actually my beach body coach. We actually met from Instagram. I was just like posting one day, and you liked one of my statuses, and then a few more, and we started sending messages back and forth talking about Beachbody, the coach and everything. And I was like, all right, sign me up. And I met with him. He's a really cool guy, really inspiring. And when I was going through a hard time in my life, he was actually one of the really cool things is like not even knowing me, you reached out and was just like, what's going on, man? Like, let's talk about it. And that meant a lot to me. I don't know if I've ever actually personally thanked you for that.
No, you haven't. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. And so the reason why I wanted you on today was to talk about self-discipline. You're like, I see you, your posts, like obviously you're ripped like crazy and you're very inspiring, and you have this like self-discipline that I myself strive for. So I was wondering if you wanted to go down that rabbit hole and talk to me like how you got started in fitness. Because I've seen the pictures of like you like 20 years ago or something, and you still look good, but like you've had this transformation.
Yeah, definitely. Gosh, it wasn't something that, I never thought it would become to what it is now, right? Like when I first started, it was just me being the skinny kid, just trying to gain weight, right? Any way that I could. It wasn't like I was following the meal plan or following a certain program. It was just me versus me trying to do something to just bulk up, because I was super skinny, super thin, super self-conscious about the way I looked. Always wore like baggy clothes, extra large shirts just to help cover the skin and bones that was underneath. And I was super undisciplined back in the day. I would eat anything. I was just really, really skinny again, trying to get any kind of meat on me any way that I could, not really understanding, like health and nutrition and, following like a detailed plan. But eventually, like in my early 20s, I realized that I had high cholesterol. It was kind of a little eye opener. It wasn't that big of a deal, but I started taking like statin pills and really just kind of had to take my health a little more serious. I would drink like regular milk, chocolate milk, like hot Cheetos, like I'm talking about like fast food, like on the daily, like all the time. And so with that, I had hereditary issues with my mom, my brother. They all had high cholesterol. And so, with my wife, we made the decision to just start eating a little healthier, little by little, and started to slowly discipline myself. It wasn't even, Beachbody or anything like that wasn't even in the picture. It was just me slowly making like little habits, like having black coffee versus, coffee with sugar and cream, eliminating soda, right? Just having water, even juice, just trying to get rid of the sugar content, right? Really did a lot of research on things that would contribute to the high cholesterol, which is like everything. And so just slowly kind of did my thing by myself. And at the same time, what I started to notice is that the results in my body would change along with what I was eating. So as I started to see these changes happen, it definitely made me more curious to see how much I could push myself, and again, I think just going back to like that mentality of just being the skinny kid to wanting more for me, to seeing where I could really be and starting to see differences in like when I would train and eating. I just continued to push and push and push. And before you knew it, it became more of a discipline, as you say. It just kind of happened. And before I kind of knew what to eat, what not to eat, not to drink so much, right? I used to, not that I was like a drunk, but like everybody drank when they were in their young 20s. We'd go to Vegas, we'd go out on the weekends before we had kids. And, before I knew it, I just wouldn't even drink anymore. We'd have like a glass of wine here and there. but definitely stayed away from like having beers in the house, hard liquor, that stuff you kind of grew up with, like the kind of, I'm not saying it's like a childish mentality, but it's kind of like the early college years, like trying to figure yourself out kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, man, as soon as we had kids, it was just more discipline kicked in, right? You have to get up early and feed our child, to go to work, to go to school, daycare, excuse me, and for our kid. And it just became a habit, right? And the discipline was it just became something that I knew I had to do to live the lifestyle that I wanted to live, versus just kind of saying, oh, well, I can't, or I don't have time kind of thing. Yeah, it's funny how it just kind of happened. It wasn't like I was trying to like prove something or I was following a certain plan per se. Like it was just kind of the way that I just lived my life was a certain, like, I'm a very organized person.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to get things done, you have to kind of, make lists and do things. If not, that you're just kind of letting the day run you and you don't run the day. I'm sure you've heard that saying.
I haven't, but
yeah.
I'm going to start using it. That's awesome, man. Like, so, I mean, like you were saying that you had to kind of develop this self-discipline and build up to it. It sounds like you've got like excellent time management skills if you can manage work and workouts and coaching and being a stellar dad on top of that. Mm-hmm. So, and a husband too. Like all these balls in the air. What has the self-discipline from like Beachbody and the workout programs and stuff like that carried over into other aspects of your life?
It's a lot, to be honest. That's a great question. Because before I became a coach, and I'll tie these things together. Before I became a coach, it was the kind of thing where like, I felt like I didn't have to work out. Like I worked out still, but it wasn't as disciplined, right? Mm-hmm. Because when I became a coach and, Beachbody was introduced and I had like a group of people who were like looking at me to lead them, I had to show up, right? It wasn't the kind of thing where like I could just be like, I don't want to sleep in today. I'm not going to work out, because what kind of example is that, right? Mm-hmm. And so really the discipline really kicked in when I decided to become a coach and, have challenge groups and things like that, because I literally had to show up, not just for, like our team and our people, but for myself first, right? Because there's also that saying, like, you can't help other people if you don't help yourself first. They always give that analogy of like, when you're in the airplane, like you have to give yourself oxygen first before you try to have somebody else oxygen mask, right? Because by the time you get to that person, you put yours on, you might pass out. Mm-hmm. And it's the same thing. I had to really kind of work on me first and develop my skills and discipline, manage my day and be like, okay, I'm going to get up at so-and-so time, work out, post my workout, check in with my group, and I'm going to go to work all day. After work, I'm going to come back home, spend time with my kids, maybe help my wife cook or clean dishes, whatever, and spend more time with my kids, read them a story, go to sleep, try to get at least like 6 hours of sleep, and then wake up, do it all over again. And it was just kind of like this repetitive planning that we had to really kind of go through. Like our day was really set, because if I skipped a beat, let's say I slept in too long, mm-hmm. then I wasn't working out in the morning. Then I wasn't checking with my group, and they'd be like, damn, I have to work out after work, which would cut into time for the evening dinner plans or cut in time with my kids. So it was a very, very thought out process, if you will, where like it was on me all the time, where I was really upset if I didn't wake up on time or work out in the morning, or I actually hate working out in the evening because I feel I'm just so tired. Like I'm tired. Like I'm about you, but you go to work all day, and then you come home. The last thing I want to do is hit play and get all sweaty and like work out. Like, I like to drink my pre-workout in the morning because it just wakes me up, versus having pre-workout at 6 o'clock and then I'm up all night. And so there's a certain way that I like to do things. And maybe because I'm an event planner at heart, like that's my day job. And maybe it's just easier for someone like me to just be more thought out, more methodical about what I'm going to do for my day. Like I need details to do things, right? Like people will be like, hey, we're going to go out, and be like, okay, well, where are we going? What time? Who's going to be there? Like, what should I wear? Like, it's always very thought out. Whereas other people I know, like friends of mine, are just be like, oh, so like they won't hit me up till like it's time to go somewhere. Like they have no idea where we're going. They have no idea what to wear. They just kind of show up and let other people kind of help, like, plan out things for them, where like for me it's like I need to know, like I need to know what's happening. And that's kind of how I run my day. You know, like my days now are, they sound pretty crazy, but they're not. Like I wake up at 4. At 4:30, I'm like getting dressed after my pre-workout. I hit play about like 5:15. Usually my clothes, you know, for my work is like ironed already from the night before. My lunch, my meal prep is ready to go in the fridge. So as soon as I'm finished working out, like at 6:15, I hit the shower. I'm ready for work. I go to work, and I'm gonna work for like 8-9 hours. Then I come back home like at 5 or 6, and tell my kids, have dinner. So it's very, very, very crystal clear. But it's doing it. That's the hard part, right? It's like getting up that early, making sure you work out, making sure like you're on a timer, right? Versus like scrolling through Facebook or looking at my phone on Instagram and spending like 30 minutes later, you're like, oh crap, I'm late, you know, and it's very easy to do that. So it is, I have to constantly remind myself to remove distractions so I can focus on like what I really want to get done for my day.
Yeah, that seems like, I was going to say, thank you for calling out, it seemed very regimented, but like with all those balls in the air, you kind of have, it kind of has to be, or else like things slip and don't get done, or they get half-assed. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I do agree with you on the working out in the morning versus at night, because like I get home from work and I try to hit the pillow with like zero energy, have nothing left. And so like working out takes out a large chunk, and then you can kind of go through work and regulate your energy. But if you try and like save some for a workout and you get home and you only use like 30% of that while you're working out, then you've got all this energy left, and you hit the pillow and your brain's just actively going off in like all different directions.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, you know, it's funny. I actually came across what you just said by accident, because when we first had kids, I was exhausted. It's like, oh my God, I was just exhausted. So like I'd hit the pillow like at, 9 or 10, gone, just gone. Like just, or before I would like pace and, turn around, try to get comfortable. And like nowadays I'm like, just there, I am exhausted. I go to sleep and I wake up back up at 4, it just happened. So yeah, I completely agree with you.
Yeah. My best friend, just had his firstborn, and like, to see this guy's always been full of energy. He's just always on top of it, and like to see him wiped out completely.
Kids will do that to you, man. Yeah.
I hope to have kids someday, but like now I'm taking a step back and weighing more pros and cons. Well, that's awesome, man. So like, it sounds like the self-discipline has really, affected your time schedule. Have you noticed anything in your personal relationships? Are you more dedicated, or do you just have a different approach to relationships in general?
I do. I mean, again, it goes hand in hand with everything, man, with the workouts, with the coaching, with just how I structure my day, because I don't leave it just to figure it out day of. Like, perfect example this morning, like I woke up at 7 and I knew after my kids had breakfast that I was going to go with my son to go play basketball. And I knew as soon as we were done playing basketball, I was going to go to Costco. We just talked about Costco before the call. Went to Costco, came back home, bought some lunch, boom, came back. I had another team call. Like, so it was very, like, I knew what was happening. And in order for me to stay on top of it, like I have to structure out my day from the beginning, versus just leaving it to chance and saying, oh well, I might play with my kids today, or yeah, we'll go to the park later. It's really forced me to be super, super disciplined with everything. How much time am I giving to my side hustle with coaching? How much time am I giving to my family? And knowing that I'm in charge of that timing, and it really just comes down to the discipline part of it, right? It's so helpful to know like how much time I have for everything, versus just kind of leaving it to just I'll figure it out day of. So it's full circle, like from the morning that I work out, from my work hours, to when I come home and have family time, or even have like date nights with my wife after the kids go to sleep and it's just me and her, and we'll just watch a movie or something like that. It's super, super key to know like what you're doing ahead of time, versus just kind of showing up, because like you said, like that's where like things fall through the cracks and you half-ass stuff. Right. You know, to the point where I even know what I'm going to wear the next day when I work out. Like it's my shorts and my shoes and my socks, like it's ready to go. I don't have time. It's 4 a.m. Like I don't have time to be like, what am I going to wear right now? It needs to be like there. And like that eats up at my time. Because if I wake up a little late and I'm running late, I'm like, oh God, I have to do this. So it's super, super thought out. Yeah, but it's all hand in hand. You know, like it's really just like one big circle with what I do.
Okay. So how do you handle like rolling with the punches? Like if something does change last minute, does that?
Yeah. And that does happen, especially with kids, you know, because sometimes they'll get sick or something will happen. They won't sleep through the night. And sometimes I will have to skip my workout, you know, and I hate doing it, but you know, like you skip it. And that's probably the one thing that goes first. You know, I sacrifice that, because if I don't sleep at night, I'm not getting up in the morning. Right. Like that's just one example. Right. Or, you know, if I end up staying at work late, or sometimes it is my family that I sacrifice too, because sometimes things happen at work where you don't expect it. And, you know, I have to stay an extra hour or two. And as much as I hate it, I get home like at 7 or 8. And at that point, my kids are ready to go to sleep. And it does happen, you know, especially, you know, like this past year, I actually got a pretty nice promotion, which has required me to stay at work late. So it like you said, roll with the punches. Days aren't perfect. Sometimes it's my workout that suffers. Sometimes it's, you know, my family time that suffers. Sometimes it's me spending time with my wife, because I'll come home and time with my kids. And then immediately I'll go into like, you know, some coaching stuff where I'm going to email people, and, you know, me and her don't spend time. And so you roll with it. You know, it's never going to be perfect. I try to make it as perfect as I can, as much as I can control. But when things do come up, I mean, you just got to roll with it, you know, and not beat yourself up because you missed a workout, or because I didn't spend time with them, or we didn't do something. You know, it's just make the best of it.
I hear that, especially, you know, not beating yourself up, because I do that. I'm the king of being lazy. I can find an excuse. Like, if I've been hitting the gym, and like I will skip going to the gym if I open up a drawer and I don't have workout clothes. I'll just kind of be like, oh, don't have anything to wear, and like of course I could go dig through my laundry because they're not that all
Yeah.
sweaty or anything, but so I literally have to think about the excuses I'm going to make. And like I'll go to sleep and be like, I have to get up this early, and I'll have my gym clothes laid out, and I'll have gas in the car, because I will just like, I'll get in and be like, oh, I've only got like 25 miles, and yeah, my gym's only 5 miles away, but I don't want to, you know, waste it going, and I could gas up, but I just find the excuses. My discipline, my willpower is not where it used to be, and so I have to, like a muscle, I have to train it to get back up there.
Absolutely.
So what kind of advice can you give to people that are looking to build up that self-discipline?
Sure. I mean, it's with the mind. It starts with it begins and ends with your mindset, you know, because if you're undisciplined, chances are you're kind of negative about something, right? Like versus like, you know, oh, like I'm too busy. Oh, I don't have time to cook. Oh, something's too expensive, right? There's a certain level of thinking that is negative with what you're talking or thinking about, that the discipline is not there, right? For me, what's helped me is just to stay positive in every aspect of what I'm doing. If my daughter is up all night, I'm not upset about it. Like, am I bummed out about it? Yeah. Like, am I a little irritated that I can't do certain things because I'm dying of sleep? Sure. But I'm positive that she feels better. I'm positive that, you know, we're taking care of the situation and it's not that bad. Maybe she's a little sick, she has a cold, whatever. I'm positive that I'm actually going to work and I have a job while some people are still searching. You know, like there's many things that can make you feel better about a situation if your mindset is up versus just being kind of like cynical and just being down. Because I've done both. I really have. You know, I've done both, where I've been at a job where I'm just like super unhappy and just felt negative and just picked at things and got in a really bad state of mind that would ultimately, you know, trigger onto my family and me and my wife and our relationship, things like that, versus being positive and just being thankful for what you do have, right? Because no matter what your situation is, someone else has it worse. Like true and true. Like things happen in life. I understand, but I guarantee you someone out there is wishing they had what you have right now. You know, I'm not you, you know, but just someone. Yeah, you know, the saying. And so that really gets me through a lot of stuff all the time. You know, maybe I'm having a bad day at work, but then I have to remind myself, like, you know what, like I have a good job, it pays the bills, I have health insurance, things like that. There's always something that keeps me grounded and humble. That makes me just be thankful. And with that, the discipline comes with it, you know, because if you're not disciplined about your sleep, your workouts, your nutrition, whatever it is that you're trying to be, maybe your school studies or even at your job, right? As everybody goes through their job and they have ups and downs, and sometimes they're like really, really stellar at work. And then sometimes they're like, I don't want to go to work. Like I hate my job, blah, blah, blah. And you just got to stay disciplined. Remind yourself of the good versus the bad. And that is one of the biggest things that helps me to maintain discipline, you know, even when it's like the bad days or the bad weeks or whatever. Just be grateful for what you have, you know.
That's this is off topic, but that reminds me, and I talked about this in my last podcast with somebody else who's with doing Beachbody workouts and stuff. Not a coach, but when I work out with my friends, I'm very encouraging, and I get that from Sean T, because in his workouts, he's very motivating, he's very encouraging, where other trainers that I've worked with, or even people I see at the gym, they kind of like demotivate somebody. They kind of badmouth and tear them down as kind of like a challenge, and some people it works. And I used to do that when I was doing Insanity to myself. I would like tear myself down and be like, come on, why can't I do this? Like 3 more of those plyo push-ups. And one day I just kind of like, it was like an epiphany or a little pop. And I was just like, I need to talk to myself like I talk to my friends when I'm working out with them. Like I need to be motivating myself. And I did. And it was almost like a second breath. Like I just powered through the rest of the workout, and I felt good, and I was like smiling. And after the workout, instead of like feeling down and feeling drained, I felt like motivated and uplifted. And ever since I've done that, like I've noticed not only physical changes because I'm able to do the workout more, but like physical, mental, emotional changes. Like I'm just more upbeat, because I used to be like, yeah, I do Insanity and like I do it so it's good. And now I'm like, I do Insanity. It's the best part of my day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, you hit it right in the head. I mean, is the glass half full or half empty? You know, and it's literally like when you look at the positive, you're just happier. And when you're happier, you're most likely to stay more disciplined and on top of whatever it is that you're trying to do. Again, whether it's work, school, nutrition, workouts, it really has a lot to do with your mindset and how you look at it.
That's great. Well, I think this is all good stuff that I'm definitely going to take to heart. I hope my viewers and listeners take it to heart too. I did have some like off the wall questions for you.
Yeah.
What is your favorite workout to do?
Eesh, that's a hard one. You know, and this is totally biased because I'm like in this workout. But it has to be Rip Sanity off Sean Week. Because it's just so it's right here with me, you know, right here, put it in my heart. It has a good spot with me because, you know, obviously I'm in the workout, like it's weights, it's cardio, and at the end of that workout there's like a 5-minute piece where you're going like old school Insanity. And you're just like you're just so gassed, and then you think you're done, but then he like says like we start doing like the sprints and jumping jacks, and with the music in that workout, like I like to tell myself like even if I wasn't in the workout that it would still be my favorite, but I don't know what that would feel like, right? But that one has to be one of like my all-time favorite for sure.
Is it weird to watch yourself work out while you're working out?
A little bit now, you know, like at the beginning it wasn't because I was expecting to see myself in it because I knew I was in it. But no lie, like 2 weeks ago, I forget which one off of Sean Week, and then I literally was like, that's me in the back. Like, it was a little weird. It was the first time where I was like, I forgot I was in it for like a second, you know? Because I wasn't doing the work just because I was in it. I was doing it because I think I was doing insane weights. And then, yeah, like for a while, I was like, oh, like that's me in the back. So it is a little weird for sure.
Yeah, not gonna lie. When we met for coffee a while back, like first of all, I was fanboying. I was like, oh my God, somebody I actually worked out with. And then like that little voice in the back of my head was like, he's gotta be photoshopped. He gotta like, that's not really him. He had to like, that had to be like that. Was it the jelly that they used for 300?
It was baby oil. That was it.
Exactly. Yeah. And you walked up and I was like, no, that's even him. That's him in real life. Yeah. So that's your favorite workout to do. What's your least favorite workout, or at least least favorite exercise?
My least favorite workout is off of the Asylum power legs. If you ever done that workout, oh my, that is the worst workout ever. Every time I do that workout, I'm not kidding you, I don't know why, at the end of it, I feel like throwing up.
Really?
And every time. I've done it like at least 4 or 5 times, because when I did the program, and at the end of each time, I'm like, maybe 5 minutes left, I can't physically stand up. I'm like, I feel like hurling, I feel like lightheaded, and I hate it. It's the worst thing ever.
It's I could totally see that.
Have you done that one? Have you done it?
I've done that one. I've done that one. I've done I haven't done the whole program, but I did all the workouts for Asylum.
Yeah.
And yeah, that one I remember. Asylum is just too much for me. And I say that, and I like that little conscious piece of me is like, that's a cop out right there. So it's too much for me right now. I hope to work up to it. And
yeah.
I think I enjoyed it in that sense of like, it's humbling, and I wasn't expecting that much of a workout, because I went from the first Insanity straight into that.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say try Max 30. It's like, it's a good, you know.
I love Max 30. I always come back to Max 30. I'll do that, and I'll go and do something else like weight training or like Body Beast, and then I come back to Max 30 because I just I have so much fun doing it. And I've tried to explain to my friends, like, because they see the Insanity like infomercials, or they'll see my videos of me just posted like completely drenched in sweat. Yeah. And I tell them, like, it's fun. Yeah, it takes a while for it to get fun. Like the first time you do Insanity, you're gonna hate it. Like, and you're gonna wonder why you did it, and you're gonna get like halfway through and be like, I'm done, I don't want to do this. Like, who needs abs anyways? And like, I love that shirt. I really want to get it. It's like I love, hate, Sean T. It's like all crossed out.
Yeah.
Because I do that. I was like, man, when I meet Sean T someday, I'm gonna punch him in the face. Like, no, I'm gonna give him a big hug. The first time,
it's love hate for sure. Yeah.
And so like, but I keep telling him, like, you have to find it within yourself to like the self-discipline. You have to push yourself and keep going until it, for one, it gets physically easier, but two, like, you just have to build up that voice of like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna get through this.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah, even with the Asylum especially, though, like, it's just a fun challenge, you know. Like, I started doing it because some of the people in my group had actually asked me like why I've never done it, and I said because I was scared. Literally, I was like, I'm not doing it. You seen what they're doing? They're like jumping over ladders and doing like a jump rope over this and that, and I was like, no. So then we eventually tried it, and it was just so much fun. It was fun. I mean, some of the work, they're exhausting. But it's fun. It's a different kind of fun, right? Like, if you want to push yourself and challenge yourself, yeah, it's a good one to complete.
Yeah. One of the things I didn't like about Asylum, and this is not workout, this is my own personal thing, is I don't have that much space. And so I put up the ladder, and I was like, okay, I'll just kind of like shift it to the side here. And so I was like pausing and then setting things up. And then I was like, well, if I pause it, then I'm losing momentum, and then I'm not like I would just, again, king of excuses, like let myself just be like, just stick to something else.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know my least favorite workout, for some reason, it's not the plyo push-ups that you do in max 30 the
Hmm.
second day. It's the you don't come off the ground, you just kind of like stiff arm it. And
Okay.
I don't like it because like I keep hurting my shoulder when I do it because I know I'm
Hmm.
messing up the form, but like I've tried adjusting so many times. I'll even like modify and just go to my knees, but my shoulders keep ending up like
Hmm.
sore. And,
Yeah.
and so like that's definitely, just thinking about max 30 got me thinking about that. But yeah, and the diamond jumps all day.
Those are horrible.
Yeah, those are horrible.
Yeah.
But those are the, like he says in the DVD, like those are the ones you attack. And so,
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Those are the ones that make you dig a little deeper.
Well, sir, it's been amazing sitting down and talking to you. I know we've been trying to do it for a while. So, and each
Yeah.
time you've been there for me, being like, yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
So,
No problem, man. Thanks for having me, and hopefully your viewers can take something away from it, and just knowing that it's in the mind really to stay disciplined, that they're more than capable of doing things that they want to do versus just talking about it, like actually taking the action and doing these things,
mhm.
right?
Where can the viewers find you on the interwebs?
Well, my Instagram handle is jflowthecoach2, which is kind of silly, but my original Instagram got hacked and deleted, so it was jflowthecoach, but now I just added the same username, so at jflowthecoach2. Same thing with my Facebook, it's at jflowthecoach. And yeah, if not, then you guys can just go to Beachbody On Demand and hit Sean Weekend. You'll see me there too.
Nice. Alrighty, sir. Well, once again, thank you. I want to thank all our viewers. Please, if you have time, if you're looking for motivation and tips on self-discipline, as well as like if you're looking for a really good Beachbody coach, definitely hit up Jay. And you can definitely see the amazing transformation that he's had on his Instagram. I like to thank Manny, our tech wizard, Arlie, our artist, and please like, view, and subscribe to everything. All right, everybody. Thank you.
All right, guys. Bye.